Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Burning Conversations. My name is Anastasia Douglas, and today we have a very special guest, our Director of Recruiting at this university, actually, Emily Miller. Thank you so much, Emily, for being here. So, let's get started. I read about you that you actually started off going into the field of biology, and then you turned around and did career services, student affairs actually in that field, and then the Office of Recruiting. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what was the turning point from biology then to that?
So I graduated with my biology degree, and I was trying to decide, do I want to go into this field or this field? There's so many possibilities in the world of biology. Well, I couldn't make a decision, and so I graduated in 2020, and I'm sure everyone remembers 2020, the entire world shut down. So I got offered a job in the recruiting office, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'll take a gap year. I'll figure it out. Like, this is great. Mm-hmm. Well, then I became a recruiter, and I fell in love with it, and I was like, you know what? I think this is actually what I'm meant to do. And so I started my master's the following spring of me starting the recruiting job, and I was like, yes, this is exactly what I want to do, actually. I can't believe it took me this long to decide. So that's kind of how I got started in it, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
So how did you manage being assistant director and also a full-time grad student at the same time?
So, it had its difficulties. Thankfully, a lot of my instructors were very easy to work with, which was great. But it's also, a lot of students are full-time grad students and also working a full-time job. So you have to find the time to kind of do your classwork, but also do your job. And so I was really lucky because a lot of my coursework related to my job. And so it's almost like I would go to work and then later that night I'm writing a paper on what I did that day. So really helpful for me. And it also helps when you enjoy what you're learning, and student affairs was something that I really enjoyed learning.
So you are now director officially of recruiting. Tell me, what's been like the biggest challenge that you've had so far transitioning into that role?
I think the biggest challenge when moving from an assistant director role to a director role is, you have a lot of responsibilities beforehand, but then the responsibilities, they're the same, but now you're the one making the final decision. You're the boss, yeah. And so I think that was kind of the biggest transition, was realizing, oh, I'm who they're asking now. And so that was kind of a challenge. And so, it's been a lot easier now, but I think at first, you realize you're the new director. You're the one they're coming to ask. And so you have to learn decision making and all of that, which, I did it and now I'm enjoying it and I love it. So
would you say the responsibilities are definitely bigger?
The responsibilities are definitely bigger. And I'm very thankful to have a ton of mentors at this university too. And so that really helped me transition into that role. I didn't just immediately become director and I'm like, oh, okay, I know everything, So I really relied on my mentors during that time. But yes, the responsibilities are definitely a lot bigger and a lot wider.
So here at NSU, we are a close-knit family.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you portray that to the children, the kids that you go and talk to when you're out trying to recruit for this university? How do you let them know this isn't just a big university where they could get lost in the crowd? This is a university where people are going to know who you are and know your name.
So, of course, we tell them about facts and data. We're like 17 to 1 student ratio, this, that, and the other. We give them the facts, but then we also share our side of the story too. And so I always tell them about my experience at NSU. I tell them about other students' experiences at NSU, just to kind of relay that information. Like, yes, this is a family. My favorite story to tell is when I was an incoming student, I actually, I went through the whole ACT process, and then I know. And what happened was I actually went up 2 points on my ACT, and they told me, if you go up at least 2 points on your ACT, you get rewarded a scholarship. So of course I wanted my scholarship rewarded. And so what was so cool is we met with the director of enrollment at the time. My mom reached out to him, and then I came later to a campus preview day, and he saw my name tag and immediately remembered who I was. He said, oh, Emily Miller, I'm working on your scholarship. And I was like, oh my gosh, you remember my name?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so impressive. And so even before I was a student here, I had that family feel. And so I always love to explain that. And I love to be that person for students now, which is why I love my job so much, because now I get to give them the same experience that I had.
So how do you, once they've finished their, let's say they've submitted their application, how do you keep in touch with them? Let them know, hey, we're still here to help you through this process. Do you have any methods to keep in contact besides giving them your, card of information?
Yeah. So we have what's called communication plans in the office. And so, obviously we follow up with them at different stages, but we also use texting services. We use email. After tours, we write personalized handwritten cards. And so we keep up with them through various ways. It's actually an ongoing joke at recruiting receptions. When I get at the microphone, I always say, hey, I'm Emily Miller, and I'm the one that's been blowing up your phone. So we have different ways to stay in contact with them. And I mean, with this texting service that we use, it's so great because I tell students all the time, if you ever have a question, just send me a text. It's so much easier. They don't want to send an email because they think it has to be extremely professional. I'm like, just send me a text. It's okay. If you're confused, just send me a text. So that's how we keep in touch with them.
So we here at NSU award a lot of scholarships. If anybody's talked to our director of enrollment and management, Van, they know.
Yes.
So how do you let them know, hey, we've got a scholarship for you. Hey, you can also do financial aid, to just pull them a little bit closer into coming to this university? What part do those things play?
So, scholarships and financial aid play a huge role in students making a decision. Students realize the cost of college, and they want scholarships, and they realize how hard they've worked in high school in order to earn those scholarships. And so when we meet with students on tours or in school visits or honestly anywhere, we have a scholarship sheet that we go over, and we say, here's your ACT score, here's your GPA, and here's how much money you can be awarded. But then we say it doesn't stop there. There's so many other opportunities, whether you're interested in being a part of campus organizations, or getting involved with Kappa, or auditioning for band or anything like that. There's so many other opportunities for them to continuously stack scholarships, and it doesn't stop with just their freshman year. They can get involved in other organizations when they get to campus that have scholarship opportunities as well. And so a lot of times that means a lot to students, but then we go as far as matching scholarships too, and we're able to do that through our alumni foundation. We have a generous network of alumni, and so they donate specific scholarships that students are able to access. And so not only do they get academics, they can get alumni, and they can get audition-based scholarships, which, at the end of the day, you're going to have a full ride with all of that, which is great. And so that really means a lot to students, and it does help them make the decision a little bit easier.
So we know, especially for Inside View Day, that everybody here at the university, all the clubs and organizations, play a huge part. And maybe I'm biased. I say the Office of Recruiting, maybe because I work there, plays the biggest part. How do you manage all of those Inside Day View duties? Because it starts from probably, let's say, August until we get there, and then we're planning for the next one in the spring. How do you do that?
So it's not just me, thankfully. We have our entire recruiting office takes on the responsibilities to plan for Inside View Day, as well as faculty and staff on other parts of the campus. And so, yes, we may plan the bulk of it and the schedule of it, and we communicate with students, but the academic browse is all academics. The organization browse is all organizations. The sessions that are led during Inside View Day, we rely heavily on faculty and staff to lead those sessions and to give a little bit more information about our university. It's very important that faculty, staff, and students are involved in that day because they see us on the road all the time. They see recruiters all the time. They see me all the time. So it's nice for them to meet other people at NSU. To manage it, our student workers make packets. They help organize things for that event. They are running around that day of the event to make sure everything is going well. And so we really, really rely on the help of everyone at the university for that campus preview day. And it always runs so smoothly because we always have helping hands for that.
So would you say for, the incoming juniors or sometimes seniors actually who do tours here, would you say that giving tours around this campus are the utmost importance and super helpful in that recruiting process?
Yes. So our tour yield is so amazing. If a student comes for a tour here, they are more than likely coming to NSU. And so that's why we have such high standards for our tours. That's why we continue with personalized campus tours. I know on Inside View Day we do group tours. I mean, we have 500 people here. We can't do
a lot of people
individualized tours. But for every tour during the week, we do personalized tours. So they sit down with a recruiter or an ambassador or the director of recruiting, and we go over the packet with them and answer any questions that they have. And then afterwards, they're able to meet with an academic department or multiple academic departments. And then they also have the opportunity to see all 3 on-campus housing options, which is amazing for them. Then if they want to see the RAC, the Wellness Recreation Activity Center, or if they want to see esports or any other department on this campus, then we go and show them, because that tour is all about them. Mm-hmm. And so I think they see that and they realize, oh, Northwestern is like a family and they do want the best for me. And so then they realize that, and then they're more likely to come to NSU afterwards. So very important process in recruiting.
So tell me, when your experience here at NSU, what was the most important moment that you were like, this is home, this is family? Now, was it that part when you came to Inside View Day and the director remembered your name, or was it something else?
So I think it was that moment, but I also think it was so many other moments in my college experience. I can't exactly pinpoint one because there was just so many. I feel like, meeting some of my best friends here, I mean, that meant a lot to me. But then also having my mentors help me along the way and push me out of my comfort zone. I mean, that meant a lot to me too. I think there were just so many things in my college experience that led me to realize this is a family. And I mean, I tell students all the time, and I know I don't know if this resonates with them or not, but I truly met some of my best friends my freshman year of college. And I mean, I was in their weddings. We actually travel. We travel down and go to their kids' birthday parties. I mean, it's so crazy. But I think, it's just the continuation of all of those things where I'm like, it solidifies that this is a family at NSU. And, I explain that to the best of my ability, but they won't know unless they come to campus. And when they come to campus, they realize, oh, this is different than any other university. So.
Yes, I can remember actually my time coming here when I didn't come for a personalized tour, mm-hmm. but I did come to Inside View Day. And I remember you, and I remember Van specifically, and he's out there trying to get people, and he's talking, he's like, hey, you want to do what they're doing? Student ambassador job. Mm-hmm. And so I can just remember all of that, and him remembering, and emails from you as well. So this is tours, and this NSU family is so close-knit to where people are going to know who you are. Mm-hmm. And when you come here, you might even have a job, or just you will be part of some sort of organization. Mm-hmm. That way you can fit in and kind of meet some new people as well. And those hopefully will be your friends. So what would you say to people who actually might want to be a student ambassador?
I would tell them that I am biased, but it is the best job at this university. No, but I would actually say, this is a very important job. You are relaying your student experience to other incoming students. You were sharing your love of NSU with other incoming students. And all of our ambassadors take their job very seriously. And I do appreciate that because it is super important. And the biggest thing is that, students do love to hear from recruiters, but they also love to hear from current students. Yep. They're more relatable. I like to think that I'm still young, but they are more relatable. And so it's really great when our ambassadors, give tours and they help out with Inside View Day, and they, come back to school visits with us, because students are able to see, oh, this is how they got connected. I want to get connected in the same way, or this is how they got connected. Maybe they can connect me with another organization on campus or help me figure out what I'm interested in. So, our ambassadors play a huge role in that. And I always explain the importance of it, but I also explain, this is a really fun job. You get to go and travel and be out and be a part of this university. So, it's unlike any other experience, and you get to network, which is very important as well.
So what's one piece of advice that you would give to, let's say, a prospective student who wants to come to NSU and just absolutely make the most out of their college experience?
Yes. So if there are students like that, I always connect them with, those freshman year experiences, whether it's the presidential ambassadors, whether it's the president's leadership program, or any other program at this university. And I say, this is a great stepping stone for you. This is where you should start, and this is how you get involved. And I always tell them, and I say, go to the Demon Days events that are on campus.
Yes.
Get connected. And I said, you may not know anyone. That's okay. No one else does either. Right. Go to these events, get involved. And I said, do not just go to class and go to your dorm. That's so boring. Like, don't do that. You need to go to all these events and get connected, because that's how you're going to get involved on campus. And I always say, at Inside View Day, at any other event on campus where there's an organization browse, go and talk to them. Go and see what you may be interested in, because you never know. I mean, you may not know anything about KNWD or podcasts or anything like that, but if you go and talk to someone, you can learn more about it, and you can figure out how to get connected. And so I always tell them, get out of your comfort zone, go talk to people. It's difficult, I mean, I get it, but it's the best way to do things. So
I feel like you're calling me out a little bit, because that's literally what I did my freshman year, is just class and to my dorm. But I've branched out a little bit more, and it might take people a semester or two to figure that out once they get accumulated to their schedules, and schedules do vary by semester, but they definitely should go out, learn. We've got 100 different events going on, lots of Demon Days, pretty much from fall up until December when we leave. Yeah. So I think, like you said, that would help people make the most of their college experience. I think they're going to have a lot of fun, especially coming here.
For sure.
Thank you, Emily, for joining me today and talking about this. I feel like people are going to learn a lot from what you said, especially if they didn't know a lot about the recruiting process as well, and what you go through to get them here at this school as well. So thank you, guys. This will conclude our episode of Burning Conversations. Tune in for a new episode very, very soon, and I will see you guys later. Thank you.